Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to Today, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells. Check out the new copper. Check them out at bosshotshells.com. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous world traveler, tap out king Andy Shaver.
Get those shotgun shells headed your way. Hunting season is here. Get them coming. bosshotshells.com.
My person who died today was a patriot. He was one of America's founding fathers.
John Adams.
No.
Thomas Jefferson.
No.
George Washington.
No. He
Herbert
was a
Hancock.
merchant. Who?
Herbie
Herbie
Hancock.
Hancock. I think he was a rapper.
John Hancock.
Bingo. John Hancock. Longest serving president of the Continental Congress, having served as the second president of the Second Continental Congress and the seventh president of the Congress of the Confederation. He was the first and third governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. His large and stylish signature on the United States Declaration of Independence led to John Hancock becoming a colloquium for a person's signature. He also signed the Articles of Confederation and used his influence to ensure that Massachusetts ratified the U.S. Constitution in 1788. Before the American Revolution, Hancock was one of the wealthiest men in the 13 colonies. Having inherited a profitable mercantile business from his uncle, he began his political career in Boston as a protege of Samuel Adams, the beer maker. An influential local politician, through the two men later become estranged. Hancock used his wealth to support the colonial cause as tensions increased between the colonists and Great Britain. He became very popular in Massachusetts, especially after British officials seized his sloop Liberty in 1768 and charged him with smuggling. Those charges were eventually dropped. He has often been described as a smuggler in historical accounts, but the accuracy of the characterization has been questioned. He was born in 1737 in Braintree, Massachusetts, in a part of the town that eventually became a separate city of Quincy. Can you imagine the life in 1737 must have been like?
Horrible.
You've said before, the wealthiest people in the world live shitty lives compared to the comforts that we have. Yes. Compared to that poor person then, it was really good, but it was bad. He was the son of a colonial John Hancock and Mary Thaxter, and she was a widow of another guy. As a child, Hancock became a casual acquaintance of young John Adams, whom the Reverend Hancock had baptized in 1735. It's weird how that works out, though, because Hancock was a Massachusetts kid and John Adams was a Virginia kid.
Well, they're not separated by very much.
That's a long-ass ride. From Virginia to Boston in 1730s?
Love knows no bounds.
Well, I don't know if it was about love. But anyways, John Hancock was my person who died today.
Wrote a big OFU on that Declaration of Independence.
Okay, here we go now. My person who was born today is, I think, one of the biggest frauds this country's ever had, who ran for president.
Al Gore.
No. He used another man's death as his plateau.
John McCain.
No, who John McCain's death uses a death.
Oh, I don't know. He was in the war, so plenty of dead people to pick from.
And he caused a lot of that too, of his own troops.
Used a death.
He is a pusher of civil rights and uses race for every excuse he has or did forever.
He ran for president or he was elected president?
No, he ran for president. He was a senator for the Washington D.C.
I'm not sure. Who ran for president?
He was there the day Martin Luther King got shot.
Oh, Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Louis Jackson. Now, Jesse Jackson.
I didn't know he ran for president.
Oh, yeah, he did a couple of times. He actually got third on the Democratic primary at one time.
I was thinking one is primary.
No.
I was thinking was the nominee.
Okay, I'm sorry. He attempted to. He put his name in to run for a nominee. Okay. He was born in Greenville, South Carolina. As a 16-year-old his mom was a 16-year-old high school student, and his dad was a 33-year-old married neighbor. His ancestry includes Cherokee, enslaved African Americans, Irish plantain owners. I like how they put enslaved African Americans and just Irish plantain owners, and a Confederate sheriff. So he had the whole discombobulated mess in his blood system. Robinson was a former professional boxer. This is his dad. 1 year after Jesse's birth, his mother married Charles Henry Jackson, a post office maintenance worker who later adopted the boy. Jesse was given his stepfather's name in the adoption, but as he grew up, he also maintained a close relationship with Robinson. He considers both men to be his fathers. As a child, Jackson was taunted by other children about his out-of-wedlock birth and has said these experiences helped motivate him to succeed. Living under Jim Crow's segregation laws, Jackson was taught to go to the back of the bus, use separate water fountains, practices he accepted until the Montgomery bus boycott of 1955. He attended the racially segregated Sterling High School in Greenville, where he was elected student class president, finished 10th in his class, and earned letters in baseball, football, and basketball. So he's a sharp guy. Upon graduating from high school, he returned to the University of Illinois on a football scholarship. He had rejected a contract from a minor league baseball team to play pro baseball. After his second semester at the predominantly white college, Jackson transferred to North Carolina A&T, a historically black university in Greensboro, North Carolina. Accounts of the reasons for the transfer differ. Jackson said that he wasn't getting enough playing time because he was black, and they wouldn't let him participate in competitive public speaking. Well, they did a little bit of background check on him, and it wasn't because he wasn't making his grades.
Funny how that happens.
And so it's always, and so this is where we get into the part of Jesse Jackson I'm not a fan of. Jesse Jackson always is an excuse for somebody else's reason. There's always a reason that he didn't succeed at something. Story is, and this is a story. This is not in literature, but I've read this. This is, I didn't find this on this account. Anyways, when Martin Luther King got shot, Martin Luther King liked Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson came up through his ranks, and he would go with him on the road to these civil rights movements. And he put Jesse Jackson in charge of some different things. Kind of gave him some of his own ways and gave him a path. Well, he was there when what's the guy's name that shot him? I can't think of a name. It's not Henry Lee Lucas. Anyways, whatever the guy's name that shot James Earl Ray. James Earl Ray shot Jesse Jackson, supposedly. Another CIA hit, I think. Anyways, he shot Jesse Jackson, or shot Martin Luther King. Well, Jesse Jackson ran over to him and got on top of Dr. King and put his blood all over his white shirt, and he stood up and said, Dr. King told me he wants me to take over and run the civil rights movement. Right. So Jesse Jackson has been a fraud since that day, because I really don't think Dr. King said that. I didn't know Dr. King, and I don't know Jesse Jackson, and don't really care to ever meet Jesse Jackson. But anyways, he has stirred up race everywhere he goes. It's about race. He's probably done some really good things in his life, because we have had some serious race issues, and he probably did help bring some light to it. But his all deal was about making the almighty dollar and doing everything for himself. He was against Bill Clinton, and then he was ministering to Bill Clinton when Bill Clinton was ministering to Monica Lewinsky. So who knows how all that goes. But anyways, Jesse Jackson. Now, my event that took place today, I'm going to give you one hint.
Okay.
Miss O'Leary's cow.
Spotted cow beer.
Guess number 2.
The cheese thing. The cow cheese.
Has nothing to do with dairy products.
Oh.
You've never heard about Miss O'Leary's cow?
No. Was she in Homeward Bound?
No. This would have happened in 1871.
That was before my time.
Yes, mine too. The Great Chicago Fire supposedly was started by Miss O'Leary's cow. Knocked over a lantern. It destroyed 3.3 square miles of Chicago, 17,000 structures, and left more than 100,000 residents homeless. The fire began in neighborhoods southwest of the city center. A long period of hot, dry, windy conditions and the wooden construction prevalent in the city led to the conflagration spreading quickly. The fire leapt the south branch of the Chicago River and destroyed much of central Chicago and across the main stem of the river, consuming the near north side. Anyways, story was for years that Miss O'Leary's cow knocked over a lantern and set on fire. But now, as they've done some research and how they can figure stuff out that happened all these years later, I have no idea. Supposedly some guys were gambling in a barn and they knocked over a lantern. And then the other story is somebody's hiding some beers in there and went to get some beers and knocked over a lantern. Anyways, once the fire had ended, the smoldering remains were still too hot for a survey of the damage to be completed for many days. Eventually, the city determined that the fire destroyed an area about 4 miles long and almost 3/4 of a mile wide, encompassing an area of more than 2,000 acres. 2,000 acres in a big city is a bunch of freaking land. Mm-hmm. Destroyed were more than 73 miles of roads, 120 miles of sidewalk, 2,000 lampposts, 17,500 buildings, $222 million in property, which was about a third of the city's valuation at the time. So it burned down. People didn't have insurance and stuff back then.
Well, I mean, it's still a fraud right now.
What?
Insurance.
Well, yeah, but you could at least have it. They'd find a way to beat you out of it, I'm sure. If it burned them down, State Farm would say, no, we're not paying for none of that stuff.
Oh, funny. We don't cover cow fires. Sorry.
Anyways, that is the thing that happened today. The great event was the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, supposedly knocked down by Miss O'Leary's cow, milking cow. So anyways, that's the story. That's my day. That's October 8th. And that's the way it was. We appreciate you listening to us. Go check out Boss Shot Shells at bossshotshells.com or reach out to me at the lodge at 940-658-3172 and I can get you in touch with the good people at Boss. Peace. Goodbye.